Alright gang, hello, welcome to my very first YouTube video. Hi, I am gonna get like a proper light set up, but I found recently I keep on making excuses as to why I've not made videos yet, so I've just thought, f it, I might not have the right stuff, but I watched 28 years later and I have some opinions. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Do the like and subscribe thing. I don't know. I need like a witty hook to get people involved. Maybe I'll think of one eventually. I don't know. This is a vibes-based review. I might put in some cutaways there to make it seem really interesting. But first things first, I want to talk about the narrative. The story is fine.
That's so upsetting.
So we open with an okay scene. A family sat around watching Teletubbies and shit kicks off. The zombies are here. They're looking for dinner. Everybody's going to get ate. Except for this one kid who is not in the film for the rest of it and then just shows up at the end in a tracksuit with like parkour, zombie killer, Christian ninjas. Parkour! But I think that's the running theme of this is like, it's just weird choices made. Very weird choices. Then we get to the main brunt of the film, which takes place in this like isolated little island that has a track that you can only reach through certain points of the day based on where the tide is. I'm so mentally switched on to like 11 seasons of The Walking Dead that when we spend time in the village, I'm like, this is gonna go wrong. This is gonna go wrong. Of course it is. Something's gonna happen. Zombie's gonna get into the village and eat somebody. Somebody's gonna get bit and not say anything.
You bet. You bet.
Like, yeah, okay, great. That happens every zombie movie. So I'm glad certain tropes weren't involved in this film, but I still don't feel like enough new stuff happened. There was this constant underlying tone in the village of it being a bit culty and then that not really going anywhere. They have certain rules to follow, like if someone gets lost outside, you can't go find them. But then nothing else is really mentioned. Like, I understand the father and son needing to leave the village to go on their, like, pilgrimage, I guess. But why?
Why not, you stupid nerd?
For some reason, he gets to leave the village like 2 years before everybody else. You're supposed to be able to leave when you're 14, but he goes when he's 12. This is like the first section of the film where it's heavily based on the father and the son's relationship, which, based on Aaron Taylor-Johnson's performance, it wasn't believable. The kid was outshining him at every turn. Aaron Taylor-Johnson, yes, is a handsome man, but he was not good in Nosferatu, and he was not good in Kraven the Hunter, and he is not good in this. He is a charisma vacuum on screen. Off screen, he's funny. Off screen, he's charming. He has it. But when the camera's on him, all of a sudden, no. The first time they leave the village, we get the chance to see these new variations of the zombies, I guess. These like slow fat boys on the ground. And then these alphas, which I don't know why they're naked. I don't hate it. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, for what narrative purpose does the alpha have a massive dick?
Oh. Penis!
Who wrote that? I don't understand. It's probably a prosthetic. It might not be. Who knows? Imagine that screening room. Like, just take your pants off, mate. They're very clearly told the rules of when the tide can go in and come out. And it leads to this surrealist, beautiful scene of them fighting the alpha on the water bridge. And you can see the stars. And it's stunning. It's such a strange whiplash from what we'd seen before, which I'm not mad at. I like the artistic interpretation. I just wonder where it came from. Watch something not happen. Watch me be like not recording or something. And one thing I noticed as well, maybe this was an edit issue, maybe it was a cinematography issue, I don't know. But one thing I noticed as well was the dubbing was bad. The dialogue over the top, sometimes it just didn't quite match up, especially for Aaron Taylor-Johnson's lines. His mid-sentence, why have you cut away from his face? Why doesn't the lips match up with the words being spoken? And why is it happening over and over again? They put all of their eggs in this Aaron Taylor-Johnson basket and it just didn't land. And it ruined the first half of the movie for me. For me, personally, which you don't need to say both, it's one or the other. But for me, personally, the story did not get interesting until the son left with his mum. And the reason why is because we have a woman with an illness we don't know. A son trying to look for a doctor who he's only just found out what one is. And he's heading out into the world he doesn't have any experience with. That's the story. It would have just been so much more interesting if they were already out in the world and he's trying to help her. And he's developed his skill because he's been looking after the mum. just so much more interesting. And yes, unfortunately, spoiler alert, it turns out she has cancer. There was elements in the cinematography that I didn't enjoy, especially in the first section where we got kill cams. We got kill cams for zombies, which is fine. I feel like a lot of the times I'm saying in this review, it's fine, but the kill cam was fine, but I didn't need to see it every time. And we got a duplicate scene. We got the first introduction of those low, slow fat boys, and we've got one slowly, tensely creeping up to the dad as we're focused somewhere else. We get that same thing later on where the mum and the son are out in the world and the mum fends off the low, slow zombie. So we have the scene earlier on where the dad does it, and then the scene later on where the mum does it. But yet we're somehow supposed to believe that the son is just going to be out in the world, ready to fight people, ready to take it on all by himself.
I'm going on an adventure!
The actor of a generation, Ralph Fiennes, shows up, absolutely steals the show, because of course he would. Why wouldn't he? The edit seems quite focused on keeping things separate and keeping things secret. Mother and the son are in the church, it's nighttime, they've gone to sleep, and we've got a slow creeper coming in. Someone's grabbed it from behind, smashed it against a wall, and then we've woken up the next day. Oh no, what happened? Where did this zombie come from?
Now who the f*** did that?
Well, turns out it was the mum. They kept that a secret for 3 seconds. For 3 seconds. Why not just show us it was her in the first place? Why does she have an affinity with this pregnant zombie? Is this baby the Alpha's baby? I would assume so. I don't need everything laid out for me step by step, but some answers would be nice. Not once does it cut back to the village. Not once does it cut back to the dad being like, hey, where the fuck is my wife? Where's my son? And I would love to know, how did this boy get down this bridge, put the baby there, and then leave and no one saw? Where's the guard on watch? This was not it. I'm going to be honest, I haven't checked up who the cinematographer was, and I probably should, but I've watched this film once, and going forward, I am absolutely going to be watching films twice, just so I can make more comprehensive notes, because I don't want to be standing here saying, I don't know, and I don't want to be looking at my phone. I just didn't enjoy the cinematography, man. I didn't. If a film looks pretty, I'm into it. If a film has fantastic shots or something different or something unique, I just feel like this film was trying to cover up for the fact it's shot on iPhone. And I didn't understand elements where, oh, look, there's a dead deer, and Alpha did this, and then it cuts to the night vision of the Alpha doing it, and it's like, why don't we view it through the eyes of the character and not through the eyes of the viewer? There was a lot of cut-ins of like war and battles and all that kind of stuff, and it felt very much like you as the viewer, this project is for you, and it took me out of the world, which is why when we got to finding out what the mother's illness was, it just felt so much more personable, because now we're on that journey. We don't know what's wrong with her. We're going to find out when they find out. If we already knew she had cancer, but she didn't know that, that's just going to ruin the narrative for us. We don't want to know that. We want to find out when they do. You don't want the audience to be ahead of the characters themselves. And I'm telling you, this film would have been better if it was these three on their journey, because they're good actors. We get these really touching scenes with the doctor, with the skull tower. Again, spoiler alert. It shows the power of Jodie Comer as an actress, because why was I upset? Why was I almost shedding a tear? Because this lady has died. To watch the boy climb this tower with his mum's skull and place it so she can look at the sunrise is perhaps the most touching thing I've ever seen in a zombie film.
Are you gonna miss your mom?
No.
No?
The soldiers, you know what, for once, I just want to see a movie where the soldiers are capable of fighting back against zombies, you know. The timeline of the film is like this. Average, shit, good, really good. What the f*** was that? Parkour, ninja, Christian, tracksuit, zombie killers. If that's the film, that's fantastic. I want to watch it. Not a 2-minute clip at the end of an already established film. Yeah, and then it ends. But I do want to give a shout out to the kid. I think the kid was fantastic. I'm going to assume that the zombies could smell the late stage cancer in the woman and were less confrontational towards her, which is why she was able to approach the pregnant zombie. By the way, there's a pregnant zombie. Do her little Jedi hand trick and was like, no, I'm here to help. Even though you're a wild, feral being that wants to rip my head out, I'm going to help you through this pregnancy. And also, another thing I didn't understand, a non-zombie baby? You can't just say, oh, the power of the placenta, and then just expect me to be like, yeah, fair enough, can't penetrate the placenta. 4 tries it took me to say that. Not even a good fucking line. It might not even make it into the edit. The baby is in the village. If it's the alpha's baby, he's going to want to go to the village. It just felt like set up for a movie that doesn't exist. A lot of it was set up for a movie that just doesn't really seem to exist. It feels like things have been smashed together for this. And some things could have just been left out for the sequel. I'm not going to review it out of a 10. I have no intentions of reviewing films out of 10 on this channel because that's not really how films work. You either enjoy it or you don't, and I didn't enjoy it. If you loved the first 2, sure, then give it a chance. I don't think it's worth a cinema trip. I don't think it's like the pinnacle of cinema. I think a lot of filming techniques were used that I didn't really enjoy. I didn't enjoy the kill cams. I didn't enjoy the constant cutaways to other actions. I didn't enjoy the montages of war clips. It just felt like a hodgepodge of ideas smashed together. 28 years later, for me, it's a chop. I didn't like it. But what are your thoughts? Have you seen it? Are you gonna see it? What did you think of my review? This is my very first YouTube video, so be nice to me. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end of this video. Hopefully see you at the next one.